E3 2006, a developer announced their new game. It seemed like a bit of a gamble, because it was pretty different from any other game that they had put out before. But little did the audience know that this game would be the launch of one of the biggest flagship PlayStation series. That's right, it was Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. Naughty Dog was taking big blockbuster action and putting the player in the middle of it. With every iteration of the Uncharted series, the action would be bigger and more impressive, with Uncharted 2 still being regarded as one of the best PlayStation games of all time. Once the dust had settled after the release of Uncharted 3, the Naughty Dog fanbase that had grown to be pretty significant at this point was eager to see what was next, and everyone's pleasant surprise, it was going to be something new: The Last of Us. With such amazing storytelling, this game cemented Naughty Dog as one of the top developers out there. Critical acclaim, audience acclaim, nobody could get enough of the realistic characters, the beautiful graphics, the polished gameplay, and incredible stories that Naughty Dog was putting out. But there was a part of The Last of Us that was overlooked by many: the multiplayer mode, Factions MP. This is a multiplayer mode that feels different from most of what we are used to. Playing this mindlessly like a fast-paced Call of Duty game will not go well. This is a slower-paced multiplayer with an emphasis on teamwork and trying to outsmart the opponent. What I appreciated about this game was that, to me, it felt like it balanced accessibility and high skill ceiling so well. While you can be an amazing player and have those opportunities to clutch out a match on your own by outplaying your opponents, it still felt like a less experienced player could manage with the help of their team. The main game mode is a 4v4 with a limited number of respawns where you'll find yourself sneaking around with your team, attempting to get the drop on your enemy and picking up the supplies they drop when you kill them. Guns felt powerful and sound design was great. You would learn how many body shots or headshots it would take to kill an enemy with each gun, which was consistent every time. And you would be able to hear what you were getting hit with, so you knew how much more you could take. It makes for a satisfying experience where you're not getting angry that a shot hit for a low damage. There was a lack of ammo though, so you were forced to use resources in other ways in order to take out the other team. Explosives, Molotovs, smoke bombs, they could all change up how you play and allow you to make some big plays. The in-game store allowed you to buy ammo, armor, and upgrades using parts that you would earn by performing actions like getting kills or reviving teammates during that game. While this gave the winning team the advantage with the shop, the game would make up for it by giving more supplies to the losing team in the toolboxes that could be found around the map. There were a lot of perks, and this added a lot of variety to how everyone played. There were some issues though. Having a bad team will not be fun. Guns and perks behind a paywall that are OP and later on had the game basically pay to win, and there were some minor glitches. But I thought something that was pretty unique and interesting was the little side story of your faction that would last for 12 weeks. Your faction will grow as you get supplies, but as you grow, you needed more supplies to keep them healthy. You earn supplies by doing well in matches. If you underperform for multiple matches, your survivors will get sick, go hungry, and eventually die. It was a super addicting multiplayer that still feels unique to this day. There is still a community that continues to play this game, which is a testament to how fun it is. Why am I talking about factions? Well, I'll get back to that in a second. After the release of The Last of Us, Naughty Dog continued their streak with Uncharted 4. Once again, universally acclaimed with great action, fun gameplay, stunning presentation, and captivating storytelling. Naughty Dog had released 5 hits in the past decade. They were untouchable at this point. The hype for them was huge, and they just did not make games that most gamers didn't love. Until they did. I really enjoyed The Last of Us Part 2, but let's just say it wasn't exactly a hole-in-one with everyone.
What?
As expected with Naughty Dog, the presentation is incredible, the game is polished, controls are spot on, and the gameplay is tense and invigorating. But the story was very controversial, splitting the fanbase with it seeming like the majority of gamers were of the opinion that it sucked. Many felt that one of gaming's most beloved characters was disrespected and thrown aside so that you could play as the antagonist. And I could understand how people would be annoyed with some of the modern day politics being forced into a game that takes place in a future post-apocalyptic setting. Do we really need lesbian scenes? Old white man is a bigot, woman is stronger than men in the apocalypse without steroids somehow, transgender child, the evil religion group, and then the scariest part in a game with zombies was this scene. Did we really need all that? I don't know. But after The Last of Us Part 2, Naughty Dog is no longer in the place that they were. Their seemingly impenetrable reputation was cracked, and their activity since then has not done much to help. We got the remake of The Last of Us, a game that was already easily accessible and perfectly playable thanks to The Last of Us Remastered. This game was marketed as a ground-up remake and sold for full price with less content than the original. It came across as a greedy cash grab to most gamers, leaving a poor taste in their mouth. Also, this is what the PC port of the game looks like upon release. Other than that, we got The Last of Us TV show, which was fine, but gamers want games. And all that we've been hearing about on that front from Naughty Dog is drip-fed information on their upcoming multiplayer game that started out as what was going to be the multiplayer mode in The Last of Us Part 2, but turned into a bigger standalone project. A standalone factions game. There have been some updates in this screenshot, but other than that, pretty much no information. But I think this game has some pretty huge potential. Like I said earlier, the original factions mode in The Last of Us was fun, addictive, and most of all, unique. And it could serve as a great foundation for Naughty Dog to build on for the upcoming multiplayer project, increasing the amount of content, ironing out some of the smaller issues, taking out the pay to win, and what I think could really make this project special is adding that classic Naughty Dog storytelling into a multiplayer game. We saw hints of it in the original with your faction trying to grow and survive for 12 weeks with special events happening here and there, but I don't think that we've had a game that has been able to mix cohesive storytelling with this type of online multiplayer. But if any developer could do it, it would be Naughty Dog. And I hope they can pull it off. I've seen so many once mighty developers fall from grace. BioWare, Arcane, Volition, and it seems like Naughty Dog's fate could be riding on this one. If it's a classic, I think those fans that were put off by The Last of Us Part 2 could forgive it, but if it's not the best or if it gets too into blatant politics, I could see a lot of the fan base turning their back on Naughty Dog for good. Considering the development on this project probably started around the same time as development for The Last of Us Part 2, and how long we've gone with no updates and seemingly little progress, and some of the worrying rumors going around online, I'm starting to think that the latter is a possibility. I love Naughty Dog games and hope to keep enjoying them, but what do you guys think? Will Naughty Dog, a developer focused on single-player experiences, be able to win back the trust of gamers with a big multiplayer project?